What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. This is Power, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 5, The Nail That Sticks Up, or something of that nature. It was a weird title. I don't even know what the title means. Miss Honey was talking about that in her last week's video. Like, what does this title mean? I have no idea, child. No idea. So we know that this is Famous's conclusion story because it's opened up with his origin story. It took us all the way back to when he was just a little youth. You know what I'm saying? And his mama getting her butt beat by, I'm assuming, her boyfriend, Luis. Okay. He not only beating her up, he beating up Jess, and he beating up Fame. He is molly-whopping all three of them all through the house, apparently over some money that he believed Fame took. So later on that night, mama, she escaped in the middle of the night. And he run back into the house for his toy. Why she let him go back in the house, I don't know. But she let him go back in the house for his toy. And when he in the house, Luis is there. Okay. So Luis come in, he punched Famous in the face. Like, where your mom at? Where your sister at? They outside, fool. Where else you think they at? And she come up behind him. I think she stabbed him in the side or what have you. And then she happens to run back out the house, leaving Famous. But Famous run out behind her, and then Luis come out, I'm gonna kill you, whatever, and they end up in a shelter. At the shelter say, y'all safe now. Okay, I don't care. Not one bit about Famous's background story in this manner, because it's really not about Famous's background story. It's really about Olga, and I never realized up until now how bad of an actress she is. I really think that they did her injustice by not allowing her to act in more scenes in the earlier seasons, because she has not improved on her acting skills. It looked like that she just an extra they pulled off the street and said, hey, read these lines. Okay, anyway, Olga's down at the police station. It's been 3 months now. And the police aren't getting anywhere. They don't have a missing persons alert. They have an APB, an all points bulletin, off for him because they say he's on the run. Now, remember, he got picked up. A lot of people don't remember he got picked up for Freddie's murder. That's what he got picked up for. And they was going to let him get passed on Freddie's murder if he got some intel on some other shit that'd be significant for them, which would have been the Thomas family. Olga saying he ain't run. My son didn't run. He was working with y'all. He had planned on telling y'all everything y'all wanted to know. Well, Garcia, he tell her he a fugitive now. So we are definitely looking for him. But if you want answers about why he missing, then you need to go to Kanan. Okay, first of all, her fight scene, I did think that she did act out getting beat up pretty well. But her expressions and her was really working my black nerves. It was really working my back nerves. Well, Rock find out that her product ain't moving. Marvin tell her, look, none of the trucks showed up with any type of product in it at any of the restaurants. None of the spots got them. And David, they called him up. He don't know where Terry is at, right? Terry ain't taking their calls. And I'm like, Rock, how you supposed to be a supplier? You can't even keep your own distribution in line. She briefed Marvin on Andre, and they really could care less. They like, damn, that's fucked up. He was a good dude. This is your lawyer. I've never known people in the business of criminal activity to have a relationship with their lawyer and don't give a fuck about him if he go away. You getting hit up left and right. Your lawyer get taken the fuck out, and you like, oh well, he was a good dude. That don't make sense to me. It ain't like you had a backup lawyer. You didn't have no backup plan. Make it make sense. Y'all like, oh well, it's just another fucking nigga. You ain't wondered about what type of books he kept in regards to you. None of that. And I'm still like, you left a whole voicemail about his connects on his phone. None of that is coming back to play. Sasha Penn, Courtney Kemp, 50 Cent. Y'all ain't making no sense right now. Especially if he been a lawyer for years. Because he ain't just been Rock lawyer. He been Marvin lawyer too. For years. Always getting them in and out of trouble. And y'all ain't concerned in the least bit. Anywho, David, he's sitting on her product. He got it down at the warehouse. He just ain't moving it. And he all cockeyed like... What you gonna do about it? Well, okay, David, we already know that you're a little bitch. We already know. I was thinking that maybe he had plans to renegotiate their terms, and that's why he was holding on to their product, especially without Terry being there. But no, nuh-uh. Marvin snatched this little goofy up real quick, put the fear of God in him, and now he need to go talk to Terry. I need to get Terry on board, because Rock makes sure that he gonna meet God if he don't do it. He gonna see him face to face. So she tell Marvin, go on get at him. Go on holler at Terry for me real quick. But be gentle, because we still gotta work with this motherfucker. And you know how Marvin has a tendency to go overboard when times get tough, right? So I think I'm missing the whole part. I am. Let me just talk about this briefly with Juke. Why is that not here? Why am I not talking about Juke? Marvin confront Juke about the situation with Moira. Moira was sitting up there in the beginning telling her, why is that missing? Oh, that's later. Okay. I got my notes, child. I got my notes down here. But anyway, I guess I'm finna get to that. Anyway, Kanan, he apparently is trying to find out who hit them up. But not seriously looking. OC said ain't nobody seen nothing. I'm like, but you did though, sir. So what's really the tea with you? What's really going on? They already know that Damon didn't have nothing to do with it. They said Damon didn't have the balls. He didn't have the guts. The gutspa. The oompa. Damon didn't have the nerve to do it. Okay, he had a heart to do it. OC say it ain't that hard to hit your spot up. That ain't that hard at all. Kanan say, yeah, but he took somebody bold to do that, and he wasn't none of that. Okay, I'm like, Kanan, ain't you a little bit on notice from this conversation? Don't that make you a little bit weary? Okay, what story did OC tell you? Or did he not tell you that he was there? Is that the thing? Okay, is that the only reason why that's the only reason why I can think of that, why he not saying who it was, and he don't want Kanan to know that he was there. And he, of course, he probably had something to do with it, right? Because Kanan said a bold nigga would do it, and OC seemed to be a tad bit bold, just a tad bit. So OC decided to be even a little bit bolder and ask him what he was doing with his money. He know Rock got wonder why he light if stuff, especially with the price increase, the inventory low, and they cash getting real tight. And Kanan said, none of your motherfucking business what I'm doing with my money. My books ain't your books, ain't my mama books. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Okay, so we learned that Kanan is taking money from his own stash, and he taking advice of Pops for the most part. He not letting nobody know he got this extra reserve. And he asked remember Pop said, not Pop, Snaps said, you ain't got no extra reserve, right? When he didn't pay his full fare, and he ain't letting Rock know he got funds because he, buying the bare minimum from her, even though inventory is low. But Kanan got a whole trunk full of money in his big ass storage unit. Okay, Moira and Juke, that's what I was about to talk about. They go and meet up. And I had questions about why this grown ass lady, she looked like she in her 40s. Why this grown ass lady is hanging around with this teenager? She tell Juke that Aaron got in a home invasion and he got killed. But she wanted to know if Juke had anything to do with it, because the last time she talked to Juke, she had told him where he lived. Okay, and I'm confused. Why would you tell Juke where he lived? Because based on this conversation, this is the first time Juke has told you that she only asked for this information for your safety. So why would you give it to her in the first fucking place? You don't even live there. Okay, apparently nobody in the building saw anything, so we can wrap that up. Ain't nobody saw nothing according to her. They are recluses, apparently, and they don't come outside and socialize with anybody. And then nobody don't trip off the fact that they heard gunshots or whatever. Anyway, Juke and Kanan, they stop over Fame House so Olga can ask them face to face what happened to Famous, where he at. Word out in the street is that he bounced, but nobody believes that. I don't even believe that. He had no money. Famous was broke as fuck. He had no street smarts. Where he gonna run to? You know, he ain't got this even got the smarts to make a move like that. So I'm still thinking that he's in witness protection. That's my thought. Because the opening sequence with his mom going to a shelter and being told that she was safe is what no witness protection basically say to them. Okay, Famous may be in witness protection. It's still my thought process. But like I said, when we open up, I kind of knew this was like going to be the final time that we talk about Famous. They kind of, they did him wrong. They did the actor wrong. That's pretty much. Anywho, Kanan get a phone call, an emergency phone call from the family, and him and Juke got to go. Meanwhile, Unique is meeting with the Italians who don't have it for him at all. They told him that if it wasn't for Teresa, he would be dead right there where he's staying. So Unique is going around asking everybody and their mama for help to take out Rock. Now, they heard that he was dead. And this is my thing. If you got the tea all the way over in New Jersey about his supposed death, you can't make me believe that his being alive is still such a secret to everybody. Oh boy, is like, you the only reason you here is because you know the Rock is fucking with Stefano. And I was like, that's supposed to be a secret. Nobody's supposed to know that Rock is messing around with Stefano. Because she really ain't. She messing around with Quan. She got the connection from Stefano. But she not dealing with Stefano as far as inventory, product, or territory. And he like, you know, Sal didn't even like you. Which is weird to me too, because Sal did respect him just a tad bit scotchy because of how he helped his son in jail. Sal was rolling with Unique until he shot up Rock's crib and Unique was there. Well, actually, Sal was already dead at that point. So, like, make it make sense. Dude say, look, I ain't trying to hear nothing that you trying to say. Because and Unique is like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me what I'm doing over on that side of the water? What the fuck you know about Jamaica? I'm like, the same way he knew that you was supposedly dead. That's the same way he would know that what's going on the streets. Because he said that he ain't never heard that Rock tried to kill him. You know, he ain't listened to that though. He was like, she tried to kill me. She killed my brother. She took my work. And she killed Sal too. He's like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Okay? I don't give a fuck about none of that. He told him to watch who the fuck he talking to. Don't raise your goddamn voice up and hear me. Okay? You're going to end up not breathing for real. Think you was dead before, you're going to be dead now. All Unique toughness went out the door. It all went out the door. All I'm saying is, you all the way over here is what Unique telling him. How you know? That's all I'm saying. He calmed down real quick. He like, look here. You ain't really worth the bullet. You done got your shit took from you twice. You done got shook twice. And both times by Rock if you're saying that you did it. So why would I expect for you to rise above the third time? Make it make sense. And Unique is like, cause don't nobody do it in these streets like me. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody work out here better than me. I can't tell. Cause just like he said, you done got shook twice. At least. We actually could probably count some more times. Cause we probably can count some more times, okay? But he said, I'm the MVP of this team. You know, all I need is a team to go with me. And he like, yeah, you do need a team. But that's all you got is a hard on for revenge and an attitude problem. So get the fuck up out of here, okay? It's not enough for me to justify rocking with you against Stefano in New York. Deuces. Okay, that's basically what he told him, right? So weak ass Unique goes outside. He looking real weak right now. He goes outside, gets in the car, and start beating up the steering wheel, you know, for being disrespectful enough to steer him over there to New Jersey like a little bitch. He literally threw a hissy fit. I was like, shut the fuck up. I was so annoyed. Okay, so the family emergency child was Mama Joy. She fell down, go boom. Didn't want to go to the hospital because who gonna pay for that? You know, whatever. I told you I don't care about her death, y'all. I'm sorry. You know, I don't. The only thing I cared about her death is what happened in the end. That's it. Okay, so anyway, Quan tell Rock, look, you shorted me when she brought him the money. She didn't pay him the amount that the 20% increase. She only gave him what she wanted to pay him. And she said, I'm not paying you because I didn't agree to that. No. And I was like, there's not a damn gangster in Quan's position in the world who gonna let Rock slide with that shit. Not a single fucking person. And Rock is like, I don't care what you say. You ain't got no heart. Your word ain't shit. So you give me one price and then you change it. That's not how we do business. That is how you do business, Rock. It's called inflation. It's called inflation, Rock. Plus you're a risky investment. Just like with any creditor. If you got bad credit, which is what you are presenting to him, they charge you more. Ask any black person. You got bad credit, they're going to charge you 34% on your credit card, and people with good credit got that 0.9% interest rate. You not good credit. You a bad business investment, Rock. So of course, raising you 20%, that's about typical. That's about normal. Okay, but he protected his dollars. That's what he doing. Even though he threw in all kind of other little bitchified reasons, like you just trouble, you did it. Yeah, he threw all them other little bitchified reasons in there. You really just a bad fucking business investment. Anyway, then he throw a bitch move. Well, I talk to your son, okay, and I could be a better mama to him than you can be good at business. He's like, you know what we done here? We done. No, nothing about his fucking money. You just gave her a 20% increase that she didn't pay. She owe you some fucking money. But he like, no, we just done. We done and done. I'm going to go tell Stefano, let him know that I'm doing business with you. We're no longer friends. You can't be my friend anymore. So Rock run her ass right over to Hafik. I swear I didn't think that was that man's name. She got the text message, and I'm assuming it was about Joyce, but she didn't move. She went to Hafik, and he like, I didn't send for you. What the fuck you doing here? Okay, she tell him what her urgency is and her willingness to move on to another person if he ain't on board. You ain't even got nobody else to move on to, child. Nobody else. And he say, you know what? I need to meet with your partner. She's like, fine, I'm gonna set that shit up. Just let you know you're doing business with me. Who the fuck is your partners? Other than your brothers, who is your partners? Stefano don't supply you. Who is your brothers? But she said he gonna get to meet up with these mafia motherfuckers. Who is your partner? Stefano is not a partner. Okay, anyway, I'm confused. I'm real fucking confused. Anyway, over at the hospital, the doc tell Kanan and Juke that Mama Joyce had no serious injuries, but the cancer kicking in. Lou showed up. He done smashed Imani already. They made that shit so quick. He already getting the draws. Anywho, he shows up and find out from the doctor she needs some round the clock care, which Lou said that ain't his ministry. I ain't doing it. Rock didn't even bother to come by the hospital because she over at Hafiz's, okay? And Marvin is by her side, catering to her old honorary ass, and she asked Marvin to Dr. Kevorkian. If y'all don't know what Dr. Kevorkian is, that's a doctor back in the day that was doing assisted kills for people who wanted to die. Okay, he went to jail for a mighty long time, if I'm mistaken. That's what she wanted from Marvin. And she said she done with this life and she need him to help her go. And Marvin said, you need to ask them doctors that they the ones that got access to morphine. And she like, I can't do that. They not gonna do that. But one of the nurses already sold me some extra vials of morphine. Well, why the fuck she just didn't do it? Since you got the vial already, why you just ain't did it yourself? Why the fuck would you put that on your child? I barely want to ask my daughter to give me my shots. I don't ask her no more. I do it myself. Anywho, so Unique pull up in a different car. He got a little Cadillac Seville now. He stopped driving Ronnie's car, I guess. And he pulls up on OC. So we knew OC had something to do with Unique because, like, why was he not dead? Okay. He basically is Unique's spy. Because I don't think I asked the question, but I meant to when we saw the Unique leaving out of Kanan's building. And I was like, why would he be in that building? I said it in my own head, but I probably didn't say it to y'all. Well, we know he been meeting up with OC. OC his snitch. Okay. He tells him about Rock's experience with Quan, which is something he should know nothing about. And that Kanan is skimming. And Unique says it's something about, that shouldn't be hard to do when you're skimming from your own mama. But he not skimming from his mama. Kanan run his own business, ain't he? When he sat down with Snaps and Pops, all the transactions that he had to deal with them. What's his business? Rock is his supplier who ain't supplying because her inventory shut. Anywho, he's stealing from himself. That's basically what it's doing. Then we get Pernessa. She shows up at Rock's house about the money that she's been receiving. She believes it's guilt money because she thinks that she has something to do with Unique. Somebody been dropping it off for months. It's been in the mailbox and the post office ain't stole it yet. He dropped it off every night. And somehow they checked the mailbox before mail even delivered. Post office ain't stole it yet. My question is, why are you showing up every month? As far as we know, Unique ain't hitting y'all every month. He could have gave her the money all at once, but he didn't. So why it come every month? But Rock, this ain't got your wheels turning. All your shit getting hit. Your lawyer dead, and all of a sudden Pernessa been just started getting the money at the same time as you start losing money. Boatloads of it just dropped on her at one time. Your wheels ain't spinning. Anyway, then we see this kid rob a 40 from the corner store, the bodega. The owner takes off after this kid, leaving a bunch of customers in the store. They ran a long way too, very long, with a bunch of people still in the store. Down a dark alley with a bunch of motherfuckers still in his store who could steal everything he got since he left the fucking store. The little boy dipped into this alley, then he dipped into this apartment, vacant room at least, and he stumbled upon a dead body. Rigor mortis had already set in. They didn't show us the body, you know. At first I was thinking it was Terry since Marvin did just put Terry down. Remember, he ain't supposed to kill him, but he did it anyway. And then I said, no, Marvin shot him and left. So that's famous. Keisha Maine, Miss Honey, y'all was right. That's famous. Okay. They found his ID, but they was waiting on dental records to confirm that was really him. And then surprisingly, though, because a lot of black people didn't go to the dentist like that. But anywho, but you know, the way Olga silently screamed, you know, on the other side of that glass, she confirmed it for us. That was famous. And I was not moved one iota by this reveal. I guess maybe because they didn't show the body. I guess because they had set this episode up showing us famous from childhood, so we was going to expect it. They did this actor wrong. This is how y'all write him out. Y'all can come up with a better. Anywho, Marvin went to go kill his mama, just like she asked him to. Got there, filled up the vial with the morphine, and couldn't do it. Then real Mama Joyce came out. Not Candy Burris' Mama Joyce. No, the Thomas's Mama Joyce. And he said that he was sorry to her. I can't do it. She said, you sorry, all right. You was a sorry motherfucker. Marvin is sorry. Sorry ass. Get the fuck out of my sight. Okay? And I'm thinking, bitch, you got a whole vial of morphine sitting next to your bed. And a fucking needle, syringe right there. Right by your bedside. Do it your fucking self. Do it yourself. Okay, and then the episode ends with Olga riding off on a bus, child. Same trembling ass face. Then we see her flashback and reminisce on the conversation she had when she let Famous come back home. You know. And that's how it ended. Oh no, it didn't end like that. It ended with Kanan getting the phone call. The Famous is gone. He goes to his cassette tapes and he sees the one that's marked Famous, and then he pulls it down and he breaks down and has a good cry that he done lost his best friend. So it leads us to believe that Kanan had nothing to do with Famous' death, like a lot of people were speculating as well, the ones who believed he was dead. And he had a really good cry, really good breakdown. I thought he was going to do the Trey from Boys in the Hood where he started punching the air and beating shit up. He didn't do that. But he broke down, you know, and cried. He lost his best friend. That's probably how his son got named after Famous. So I guess we're going to find out who shot Famous, or we just going to forget about that too. We forgetting about everybody's death. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. Which, let me know what y'all think about this season. We halfway through. You see how my face look right now? That's how I feel about it. Peace.